Hi there, Dave Forrest here. I don't often do this, but on this occasion I felt the need to do so. Just recently, a little bit of backstory, just recently I was looking for a book test to put in my show because I had to take something out. It was something with a serial number on a bill, and that's becoming more and more impossible that somebody's going to have the... But anyway, long story short, I wanted to put a book test in its place. So I contacted my good friend and my go-to guy, Steve Faulkner, because who better to ask than a guy who does a review show. So I phoned him up and I was like, Steve, I'm looking for a book test, what do you recommend? And we had a conversation about what I needed to do and you know, specifically what I was looking for, and he talked about several different book tests, and we had a bit of a conversation, and then he mentioned a book test called Frankenstein by Kaleb Wade. Kaleb Wade, who's he? I don't know, I've been out of the loop for a while, so I'd never heard the name, but it sounded great, and what he was describing sounded like just what I needed. So I had to try and get one, and the way I did that was by going on Facebook and finding a used copy from Steve Della, actually, so thank you, Steve. And then I got the thing and I just loved it. I mean, it's so good. Everything that Steve described and more. Then beyond that, I got in touch with Kaleb because I just had to tell him how good it was. And we chatted back and forth, and he's a charming fellow and a very clever one at that, because he came up with this, the Frankenstein Book Test. And I know you hear this a lot, it's going straight in my show. This is literally going straight in my show. I've got a show on the 9th of August, and my usual banknote thing is coming out, and this is going in, and I have got no worries whatsoever that this is going to slot right in. I'm already super comfortable with it. It's so easy to do. The backtrack feature is a complete no-brainer. I mean, that's a straight out of the box miracle. And then the other principle, the long word principle, the alchemy principle, I believe Kaleb calls it, is also brilliant. Little bit of memory work, but if I can remember it, trust me, you can too. I did this for my friend the other night, and I show him a lot of magic. And I just handed him the book, and he was like, you know, he looked through it and he's like, what? And I said, have you ever read it? And he said, I have. And I said, I read it again recently. In fact, I've tried to memorize it. And then I went into my whole thing, and he was blown away. And I said to him right after, I wish I would have videoed that. And the reason he was blown away, because I asked him afterwards, he knows I'm a magician, he's my best friend, and he was like, is it the book? And I was like, it is the book. And he was sitting there going, I still don't know. And that's one of the strong points here. This book, if you open it up on any page, reads just like you're reading Frankenstein, the novel. And that's not to be underestimated. It is completely examinable, and there's nothing to find, and yet it has got two diabolical secrets. The size of it is perfect. The layout is perfect. It looks exactly like a book you would find in a bookshop, even with the 3-for-2 mix and match sticker, which to me is a stroke of genius, because nothing says ordinary book than a little bookstore, you know, bargain sticker like that. So as I say, I don't often do this. I got in touch with Kaleb and I said, I'd love to get some of these for full 52. It was out of stock at the time, but he got some more, and I have got 12 of them. That's it. That's how many I've got. And I recommend you get it right away. I'm running a little offer. Kaleb was very generous. He offered up an ebook of his called Cinematic. It's also brilliant. You get that for free when you order this. And you can also have my self-working book test from Automata Volume 2 or 3, I think, called Any Tome Anywhere. Add all 3 of those to the cart. It's all on the web page, you can see it. Add all 3 to the cart, and you'll get the book test, you'll get the cinematic, and you'll get Any Tome Anywhere for free. And by the way, if you've already got Any Tome Anywhere, you can swap that for any other Automata download of equivalent value. So that's it. I don't often do this, but I felt I had to because I just love it. It's going straight in my show, and it really is. That's the Frankenstein Book Test by Kaleb Wade. Get it while it's hot. Thanks, I'll see you next time.